Land administration in Sri Lanka refers to the management and regulation of land and its resources within the country. The government of Sri Lanka plays a crucial role in land administration, and various agencies and institutions are involved in ensuring land governance and land-related services. However, the processes involved aren't very efficient. This is often reflected in various indicators that are lower performing, such as the Global Competitiveness Index, Ease of Doing Business Index, Economic Freedom Index, and many more. Every index that measures business environment rates Sri Lanka poorly. Global Competitiveness Index ranked 84th with a score of 57.11 in 2019. Ease of Doing Business Index ranked 99th with a score of 61.8 in 2020. Fraser Institute's Economic Freedom ranked 89 with a score of 6.72 in 2020. Legal Systems and Property Rights ranked 91 with a score of 5. Business Regulation ranked 73 with a score of 6.8. These rankings clearly highlight the need for Sri Lanka to prioritize improving its business environment. To make our index better, there are several pillars that are doing the worst, which could be improved. When considering the Ease of Doing Business Index in 2020, out of these 11 sub-indices, these 3 are in the lower bottom with very poor ratings. In this explainer, we will focus on registering property. We identified that addressing the inefficiencies in registering property is a crucial step towards enhancing our overall rankings and fostering a more favorable environment for businesses to thrive. For registering property, the areas that are looked into are number of procedures to complete, number of days it takes to obtain a permit, cost to register, quality of land administration. Sri Lanka performs poorly in all 4 of these areas. With the current laws on land administration, there are changes being done to implement the Australian Torrens system under the BIM Xavier program. Authorities have informed us that it is going to take several more years to entirely implement the system that eases the land administration. Meanwhile, it is important to focus on the procedures that can be changed that could evidently reduce the time along with it. Registration of property also means that the business will purchase real assets that will appreciate in value over time, giving back to the business. This is one of the investment types that the businesses prefer, but a costly one to do due to the cost of properties. This has severe effect towards SMEs. So let's look at an example. Ruwan is an entrepreneur who has his own banana farm. If Ruwan wishes to increase his harvest, he has to purchase more land and cultivate more trees. This means that he has to find appropriate land, preferably in Kurunegala, to extend his plantation. This could be a difficult task, as finding available private land is rather an impossible task. This is why Sri Lanka is ranked poorly when it comes to land administration. If Ruwan finds a land that suits his needs, then he will have to come to agreements with that landowner to agree on market price and other matters. Ruwan has to start the process by finding a notary registered specifically in the Land Registration Authority of Kurunegala to get the notary to do the tasks. His notary will check with the LRA for this new land. Notary will check all the historical data and try to find previous owners, and if the current owner has the actual ownership, to transfer to Ruwan. This task is a rather strenuous task because the notaries always make it a point to check the historical data up to 30 years, as the data in the LRA is often considered to be maintained poorly. If Ruwan's notary manages to find proper information on the historical data, only then the deed is drawn up for the parties to sign and complete the transaction. Meanwhile, Ruwan has to get these new lands surveyed by a certified surveyor. Ruwan also has to make sure that the stamp duty is paid for the land based on the survey report. Ruwan or his notary will have to take the paid stamp duty receipt, deed, and all other supporting documents to be registered in the LRA. If there is any small contingency in the documents, then the documents are sent back for inconsistencies. Ruwan will have to get all of them ready again and send it for registration. Following all of this procedure, Ruwan will finally own the land to do his plantations. In this case, Ruwan was able to find privately owned land to do the plantations, or he will have to apply for a government grant for government-owned land to do the plantations. This is a commonly faced issue by several farmers and all the businesses when it comes to ownership of properties. Even if the properties are found, the process of registration gets stuck in the title search, as the maintenance of records with every LRA is notably poor, to a level where some of the record books are destroyed by mites, leaking roofs, and dust. Even the existing record books with the historical data needs to be protected if the land administration as a whole needs a good pathway to go ahead. To address these challenges, a holistic view is required to overhaul laws, systems, and processes related to land administration. While Sri Lanka has focused on implementing big systems like the BIM Savior program, these projects have faced significant delays and are still not fully implemented, hindering progress. It is time to adopt a different approach. Hence, we propose a shift in perspective, emphasizing the importance of microsystems and continuous marginal improvements to enhance the status quo. Instead of waiting for the perfect solution, we should focus on the practical and feasible steps that can be taken to make tangible progress. This approach allows the flexibility and adaptation to emerging needs, ensuring a more efficient and business-friendly environment. In the specific area of land registration, there are well-identified digital solutions that can address the inefficiencies. Sri Lanka performs poorly in elements such as the number of procedures, time taken to obtain permits, costs of registration, and the quality of land administration. One low-hanging fruit we have identified is the utilization of new technological advancements by implementing digital systems such as scanning and storing land records as scanned PDFs in a cloud and utilizing AI technology to facilitate notaries in accessing historical data online. We can significantly improve the efficiencies of the land administration process. It is important to recognize that while major reforms are necessary, focusing on microsystems and continuous marginal improvements is equally vital. These small but impactful changes collectively contribute to a better business environment. Let us seize this opportunity for reform and work towards creating a more conducive environment for businesses to thrive. The time for reform is now. For more information on reforms and how you can be part of the conversation, you can visit www.advocata.org.
If you are interested in seeing more content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow Advocata on all social media platforms to never miss out on our latest content. Consider supporting Advocata by becoming an individual subscriber. Gain access to our weekday media monitoring of economic news, exclusive Advocata events, and more. To learn more, visit us at support.advocata.org.